What's up, guys? Farooqi Bros here. This is podcast number 14. Today we're going to be handling a very specific topic, but I think it's a good one. I think we all have a lot to say. So without further ado, I'm your host, as always, Shiraz Farooqi, and I'm joined by my brother, Zayan.
What's up, guys?
My cousin, Umar.
Hey, everyone.
And my other cousin, Samir.
What's up?
So today, like I said, we're just going to talk about Shazam, and in particular, one moment of Shazam. And basically, this is a moment in the trailer. So again, I know you guys know the trailer has not come out yet. The Shazam trailer is due on January 19th. But we've noticed across the timeline for the last few days even, people have really been complaining about one moment in the trailer. And allegedly the moment in the trailer is two kids are fighting over, or one kid actually is fighting with Superman and Batman toys. Very lighthearted moment. And he's just humming the Donner Superman theme. And people have actually started getting really outraged by it. A lot of people complaining and saying, oh, that this is a direct insult to Zack Snyder, or that, look at the DCU has become MCU 2.0 now, and the same old complaints. But this time it felt a little amplified and over such a small moment. And knowing the four of us, we have so many things to talk about, and we're so vocal on topics like this, we had enough to say, but we felt like, let's make a whole podcast out of it. So that's basically the topic of today. We're going to talk about this moment and whether about nostalgia in general and what place does it have in our comic book films, and if this moment is even a big deal at all. So I'm going to open up the floor. Zion, what do you think about it?
It's like not a big deal. I don't know why people are making such like a big thing out of this. I feel it's mostly due to like how they butchered what was supposed to be Justice League and used John Williams' team. I mean, even that they didn't do right. So I think it's more because of that than anything else. Personally, I think it's not a big deal. I mean, that theme is so iconic. Like, who cares? Like, really, who cares?
Yeah.
It's just a kid humming it. It's not even supposed to be a serious moment. It's not supposed to be like, oh, this breaks the universe. This breaks canon. Who cares? It's just a kid humming a song, which is the most iconic version of Superman's theme. I love Zimmer's score too, but I mean, John Williams' score, that is Superman. That's my opinion.
There's levels to it, right? So, I think some people that want to see any future decision that happens, you can see it in a way, like in the way that, oh, this is disrespectful to what Zack Snyder did or what Hans Zimmer did. And here's the thing: is that you have to see it in one way or the other, because let's say they didn't use this theme, they definitely can't use the Zimmer theme. It can't. It makes no sense. That makes no sense to use it.
That pulls you out of the movie.
Exactly.
How could we sing Superman's theme?
Where did he hear that theme?
Exactly. So what do they expect? You know?
Yeah. So you can't use the Zimmer theme. There's probably gonna be like, these heroes exist, right? So there's probably gonna be, he's wearing the Aquaman shirt, right?
Yeah. There's merchandising.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't there be films?
Yeah. So which means that theme exists in some capacity in this universe, whether it's a TV show or another movie that came out, whatever. This is just like a nod to what they did in the past, right? And it's not something new. Wonder Woman did this. Wonder Woman did something similar to it, where they shot a scene that was very similar to the Christopher Reeve scene in the alley, right?
Yeah.
So there's, I don't know, like this idea that everything is a disrespect towards the previous films like Man of Steel is not. It's stupid. It's just something that you shouldn't. It's just something I don't buy into myself. I just don't think it's smart.
Samir, what do you think about this whole thing?
Same thing. I don't really see why this would be a really big issue. Like Zion said, it doesn't really break the universe. I don't understand, really.
And so what do you think about what fandom has kind of become, especially over the last few years, and especially on social media? I mean, what's going on with the fandoms, even the DCU fandom in particular? What are your thoughts on it?
They're insane, bro. I don't know.
No, it's a product of the, not my Superman, not my Luke Skywalker. It's like, because that's all the fans like us who've heard about Man of Steel and BVS, oh yeah, why isn't he smiling? Why isn't he cheerful? Why isn't he saving a cat out of the tree like Christopher Reeve did? And I loved the old movies too, but I feel like that's more a product. That's more the reason why
at that time.
Now it's happening that people are like, oh, why are you changing it now? Why are you messing it up? Why are you making it into that? I feel like it's because...
But you could understand it, though. At some level, you could understand it because of what they've done in the past year, right? And we've done podcasts about it, so I'm not even going to go that into it. But because of what they've already done, people, like, this fan base feels alienated. So they see things from a certain lens.
Yeah.
So everything that comes out, they see it like, oh, this is disrespect towards Zack Snyder or disrespect towards Hans Zimmer. How is, like, my question would be, how is this just disrespect? If anything, it's respect. Because why would you put the Zimmer theme, like, why would it be humming the Zimmer theme?
Yeah.
As if it's like some kind of like
then
cartoon.
The Zimmer, not the Zimmer, the Zack Snyder little duology, Jesse doesn't count, is fiction in the Shazam universe. Yeah. That's what I mean then.
This is proving it's reality.
Yeah. Exactly. Then the fiction is the Christopher Reeve films that was fiction in this universe.
And I agree with both of your points. And honestly, you got to kind of look at it in a vacuum. And I see both the points. I see both arguments from both sides. And everyone's saying different things. So obviously, like, I understand some people who are very, like, turned off by Justice League are feeling this is kind of like a deja vu scenario. And they really want... the universe stay true to the theme that it made. And I get that. And obviously, if this was a Superman movie, or if this was someone telling me that while Shazam is flying around, the theme is playing, yeah, that maybe doesn't make that much sense. But you guys gotta understand, it's just someone humming, a kid humming it in a throwaway line in a trailer. That might not even be part of the final product. And again, like, I get it. Justice League is garbage, right? And you know what's worse than the movie itself? The score. And Elfman didn't just do a disservice to Zimmer's score. He did a disservice to John Williams' score as well.
And
so
he even messed up the Batman score too.
Exactly. So, I mean, and I think Umar said he played at the worst point too. He played in the middle of the Flash fight. Like, it didn't make sense,
right?
right?
That was the worst thing ever when he played it in the middle of Flash. He's evil at that point.
Yeah. And honestly, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I get that. Okay, I get it 100%. But the problem is you guys are taking it too, like, serious, you know? Especially when taking it in context of what Shazam is. And if you have a problem with this, then you should also have a problem with Spider-Man 2 when the woman is singing on the street the 60s Spider-Man theme song. You'll have a problem with Suicide Squad, which has Superman literally in his red underwear and has literally probably the Donner logo with the yellow crest inside and everything in it.
This is when Waller sees the
when
the guy with the Hope You Remember, right?
Exactly. And you also have a problem with Logan. And Logan usually had literal X-Men comic books flipping through the pages, and they used it as a joke when they first introduced that comic book.
It was even in the plot.
Yeah, and then they obviously swerved into the plot. But the point being, this is very common. It's not like, oh, it just happened in the DCEU and nowhere else. It happens. Pop culture is a big part of what films are. And it's not out of the question that a little kid is just humming the Donner theme as a little callback. It's literally meaningless, not even part of the original score. So I think you guys are thinking too far about it. That's all I got to say.
You know, but just to play devil's advocate, you know, I feel like maybe these fans, they think that this Superman hasn't gotten his full time to shine, or maybe he hasn't gotten like the closure they wanted, and they don't want him to be like dismissed.
But you know, again, like to counter that argument, out of 6 DCEU films, Superman's been literally the focus of 3 of them. 3 out of 6 have been Superman movies. Even obviously the Snyder Cut would have been even more Superman movie, but even the Whedon cut is a Superman-focused movie. Like, they still focused on Superman no matter how bad the interpretation was. And obviously, Man of Steel and BVS are complete Superman movies. Like, Batman v Superman, a lot of you guys say, oh yeah, Batman v Superman is a Man of Steel too, so follow through on that. You know, so it is a Superman movie. We got Superman half the universe, and this is coming from someone who's literally a Superman, like, aficionado. Like, I'm obsessed with Superman, you know? And I want a Man of Steel 2 just as much as anyone else, but if we claim that there has been a lot of Superman focus in this universe, then how come now we can't say, that, oh yeah, he hasn't gone, the Zimmer theme didn't get its fill yet, and then it comes time to shine. And look, I love the Zimmer theme. I want the Zimmer theme. I prefer the Zimmer theme. But at this point, David Sandberg, you got to put trust in the director, and I see kind of what he wants to do and the tone he wants to take. And I think a little kid humming a little theme is not a big deal. It's really not.
And
so
at the end of the day, Superman, you can't, like, I don't know, the idea that you have to claim him and he's just one way is very dumb. It's
I mean,
it's the problem it's the mess that
it's exactly what they claim that these bloggers are doing. That, oh yeah, they're only stuck with the Chris Reeve version, but look at a lot of these fans, they're stuck with just Henry Cavill, and they will not accept any other version. It's
and
the
you
same
can't
thing.
say you're doing
On
this to
both sides.
defend. You can't say you're doing this to defend Zack Snyder because Zack
Yeah.
Snyder was humming this theme as you storyboarding Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This makes people that would do really well in helping in the live action universe. Like who did we talk to at Comic Con? Forgot his name. He's big. I forget his name.
Bruce Timm.
Bruce Timm. What did we ask him? Would you ever get involved in live action thing? What did he say?
The
You remember
Yeah,
what
he
he
said people will start putting negative spin even before the movie comes out.
Before the movie comes out.
Even before the movie's made.
Before the movie's made. And he said, and that's part of the reason why he thinks it wouldn't, he's fine with what he's doing. Because, and imagine Bruce Timm making a live
Yeah. No, and I completely agree with him. And actually, it's funny because a lot of the talking points for this fandom in the last 2 years has been negativity, and negativity brought by publications, negativity brought by bloggers, negativity brought by critics. And a large portion of that is true. There is a lot of negativity in this fandom. But the crazy thing you have to realize is that right now, the people who are bringing negativity to Shazam, it's not the bloggers, it's not the critics, it's fans. And which fans? DCEU fans. DCEU fans are doing this to themselves right now, bringing negativity to the film. Why? You can disagree that, oh, I don't want the Superman 78 music on this. I get that. But you guys are literally outraging over it and doing the same thing you did when Aquaman was coming out, and then start saying things about boycotting and stuff like that. Like, it's leading to the same talking points, and it's honestly not a healthy way for the fandom. It's not a good look.
James Wan followed the continuity, right?
Yeah.
Followed Snyder Cut continuity.
Exactly.
The guy that's doing Shazam, he's not gonna do anything different. Like everyone, I think all the directors are gonna do the future movies. They know that Justice League went wrong.
Yeah.
They all know this. Everyone knows this now. Even at some level, even the studio knows this. So they're not gonna commit the same.
They're not gonna double down on.
Yeah, hopefully they don't. Hopefully they don't double down. But at the same time, they know in their head that that it's not wise to make similar decisions again. They're gonna let directors do what they want, and if they do that, the directors that are on these films, they know, they know the core fan base because a lot of them are on Twitter, and they know that it doesn't make sense to disrespect Snyder's films that came.
Exactly. Yeah. And Samir, you have anything to add on this?
Sometimes the fan bases, they get a little out of control. They really get on my nerves. I mean, especially since this morning, how they found that the director of Spider-Verse tweeted something a long time ago about how they messed up the Batman v Superman movie. That's kind of messed up.
And I agree with you, Samir. I think it's worth pointing out this thing that not every single movie is going to have the same tone. It's a big thing where people complain about the MCU sometimes where, the tonal variety is not that great and things seem to be on the lighter side. But for DC, over 6 movies, it's been all types of different tones. And I know, look, we all know people nitpick the Aquaman joke, the P joke. Yes, it was garbage, but it was 0.5 seconds of a 2-hour movie,
But Aquaman was always going to be, a little bit more lighthearted. Even if the Snyder Cut came out, it would have been...
I agree. It's like these people, Matt, think that, Aquaman or Shazam is supposed to be this, serious type of character. These is how these characters are. They're going to be represented in this lighthearted, more, accessible fashion.
And just to tie that all in a bow, I think it's important for fans to realize Zack Snyder cannot direct every single movie. And even if you don't want to direct every single movie, not every single movie can be in the tone of Batman v Superman and Man of Steel. And not all of them have the same kind of complexities. And you know what? If every single movie was like Batman v Superman, you know what BVS would be? Unspecial. So if you think Batman v Superman is special, it's because it was different. And you want everything to be like that and become monotonous on one level. It's not how things should be. So I think it's important for 12 variety. And Shazam is a lighthearted character, especially after the New 52, which is really what this is based on. He's been even more lighthearted. So I think that's what they're leaning into. You got to give the director a chance to figure that out.
Levels,
And even in if you're gonna be that possessive over the first 2 movies, then you're not gonna be able to appreciate when people come with a new kind of vision, because Zack Snyder is gone. At the end of the day, you guys have to accept this, that he's not making the next DCU films. He's not, and we love him. We hope that some way somehow he makes a comeback. But that's not how the world works. It's a business at some level. So you gotta.
It's a business first.
It's a business first, exactly. So at some level you need to accept that new directors will come with new visions, and this is not even to deal with Shazam. This is just for the future of the DC universe. That they're gonna come with new visions, and you're gonna have to learn to not be like the people that we were fighting when Man of Steel came out.
Exactly.
Don't be like the fans that came out and said, "Oh, Superman never kills," or "Superman doesn't do this," or "Superman doesn't. He has to always smile. He has to save kittens." Because if you do that, then you're no worse than the people that you hate yourself. So you become what you hate.
Yeah,
so that's my quote of the day.
Yeah, that's a good quote. Dropping knowledge, yeah. But already allowed to
Listen, I'm telling you, the second it comes out, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my god, can't wait! It's gonna be so good." It's just that like reading about it, I feel like it's worse. And like we've seen some things, but like once you see it, I feel like they're just gonna be like, they won't care. It won't be as big of a deal.
And there's gonna be so many Man of Steel references in this movie that you're gonna forget that little 2 seconds.
Exactly.
So we a lot like, "Oh, Aquaman could have peed on," and you're gonna forget it in like 3 seconds when he comes out in the water with the trident. Like
that's true.
Exactly. And that speaks to, I think, the larger discussion in hand, and that's kind of the topic of nostalgia. And what does nostalgia mean to the fans, and what does it mean to bloggers, and what does it mean in our kind of film culture and kind of like the comic movie culture? Like, what role does nostalgia play? And I'll actually give that question to Samir straight. What do you think about nostalgia in general? Like, come on, what do you think? Does it have a place in the DCU or a place in comic movies in general?
Dude, I was just born, like, now. I have no nostalgia. I have no nostalgia.
He doesn't know. Fine, Samir doesn't know nostalgia, guys. Listen, Samir, for you, nostalgia would be like
Spider-Man 3.
Like Spider-Man 3, you know?
You're like 7 years old when that came out.
Okay.
Again, even Zack Snyder. Remember when he destroys one of the
world engine? Yeah.
And then
they like, there's so many nods that Zack Snyder is giving to those.
And I agree with you, Umar. And the funny thing is that a lot of fans look back at Dawn of Superman and they think, "Oh, what a campy movie! It's corny. It's just not good." But you guys are already forgetting that. Look at the comics that were coming out in the late 70s, right? Late 70s, early 60s, right around up to 1978. The comics were extremely campy. I mean, if you think Superman 78 was campy, I'm talking like 30 levels more campy. Superman had like the whole super pets were with him. He's really dragging planets with, a rope, and it's a different genre back then. And when Donner did Superman, his intention was literally, I'm going to make the most serious Superman movie I can. And Snyder did the exact same thing. He made the most serious Superman movie he can in 2013. The point being is that theme is not rooted in some kind of campiness. It's not like the Batman 66 theme, which is a campy theme. This is a theme that's very much a royal theme. It's very fitting of Superman. And if it's being used in not even like a throwaway sense, it's being used, not even used like in a serious sense, it's actually used in a very tiny way of someone humming it. They're not even lifting the music itself. And honestly, guys, if you're expecting Shazam to be a Man of Steel copy and theme, like, you're going to be disappointed. Like, that's an auto disappointment you're just kind of setting yourself up for. Because Shazam's not going to be some kind of existential deconstruction of the character. It's going to be literally a kid who gets the powers of Superman and gets to live his childhood dream. Like, it's rooted in lightheartedness. So I think you guys have to kind of understand that when you're complaining about these things and nitpicking, it's just entertainment at the end of the day. I mean, I know you use it as escape, but the second you start like complaining at this level as if you really got wronged in some way, I think it's gone too far.
So now, no, at the end of the day, listen, our thing from the start was what? That we love both. We talk about Infinity War for the past year. The only difference is when it's a Zack Snyder movie, and everyone knows this, when it's a Zack Snyder movie, fortunately or unfortunately, it doesn't go away for a long time, and that's a good thing, because and we know from meeting his friends and stuff that he's a director that is he makes his movies in such a way where people talk about them.
Yeah, right? It incites discussion.
Yeah, it incites discussion, and it's praiseworthy. But because they don't go away, and they're always a topic, we tend to, even 3-4 years later after the movies come out, we tend to keep talking about them. While MCU films, they do well, and then the next one comes out and it does well, and then the next one comes out, and then somewhere down the line they release something like Ant-Man, and then another good one comes out.
How do you take the words out of my mouth?
It's the same. We love both. So
Yeah,
MCU shell or not. We're both.
Yeah, we love both. It's not about labels, like that's the problem. I'm a DCU shell, I'm an MCU shell. Like this has created like this weird divide where
nerds decided that instead of watching sports, we're gonna treat our movies like our sports teams. That's when you see this kind of toxic thing, man. Like people are treating DC versus Marvel like it's LeBron versus Kobe or LeBron versus KD. Like it's just it's not the same thing. This is not a sports team when it's little rivalries. This is literally entertainment movies, and you guys are making it into like a whole thing. It's wild.
Even in sports, if you're like a zealot about one person, then you can't see the greatness in another player, right?
Yeah.
Like if you like me, like I love LeBron James, but like, and I do think he's the greatest of all time. I think he's gonna, or maybe he's not yet, but he'll reach there one day. But at the same time, I have to be able to like look back and be like, oh, Kareem's good. Michael Jordan is one of the greatest ever. Like, if you're only one way, you're not gonna be able to enjoy.
Like actually, the fandom was actually much more united after Batman Superman. I remember when Batman Superman got bad reviews, everyone came together and they were like, just everyone was like supporting each other about it. And now after Justice League, that got different.
That's a
good point. When BBS came out, everybody was supporting each other and finding who else liked it. Now, post Justice League, people are going to see who didn't like what I didn't like. Yeah. That's what it's become now. It's become pretty bad.
Does that make us what we don't like? Like, doesn't that put us in the same boat?
We said it before. Like, the second you start saying Henry Cavill Superman or Snyder Superman is the only Superman, I don't see you as even one bit different than the blogger who says Donner Superman is the only Superman. There's no difference. There's literally no difference.
Yeah.
Yes, Ross.
I'm saying myself. I never said Snyder Superman's the best. Honestly, if we're talking real, Bruce Timm Superman's the best. But we'll save it for another day.
No, again.
That's a tough one.
No, again, you can say
it's the best, but if it becomes your only, and you don't allow any other version, like if you reject, like we know, like let's not pretend. Maybe we'll get Henry Cavill back for one movie, but eventually, 10 years, 20 years, we're gonna get a different Superman movie with a different director and a different actor. It's gonna happen. Okay, we got 6 different Batman actors in the span of 20 years. 6 different Batman actors, 20 years, right? They change very fast, right? And we're gonna get 99% chance we're gonna get a new Batman now. So already we switched between 3 Batman in 5 years. 3 Batman. Between Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, and whoever's gonna come next.
Batman.
But if you get pigeonholed, say, I only like Christian Bale Batman, and I can never accept Ben Affleck's Batman, which people did. People got pigeonholed. They're like, oh, no, I'm stuck with the Dark Knight trilogy. Any other Batman, I don't care. That's the best wrong. And then there's some, and then there's people who are stuck with Ben Affleck, and they can't take it if someone else shows up in another movie. But it's time,
But at the same time, we can understand
of course.
why you would feel that way, because we're in the same boat.
Listen, if Henry Cavill recasted, I'd be pissed too.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed if Cavill got recasted. But I'm saying eventually, in 20 years, if someone else.
I'll still be even though the writing's on the wall, I'll still be really like.
Samir,
would take me like a day to get over.
Samir, would you care either way?
Not really.
Dude, I honestly don't care. Just give me a good Batman movie. I don't care. Listen, we went in 2007. We had Tobey Maguire. In 2011, we had Andrew Garfield. In 2015, we had Tom Holland. That's 3 Spider-Man in 5 years again. So
they're all good though.
Dude, don't get started with Spider-Man is the best. We're not going to do the Spider-Man debate. We'll make a different podcast debating which Spider-Man is the best. Even though
it's not even close to me.
Yeah, it is. So we're all in agreement. So
were they even there for that?
No, we didn't do it. We don't. It never happened yet.
Well, they were born for that.
Dude, you were born when Homecoming came out. Yes.
Yeah, Samir, man, you're just a kid, man. You're just a kid. But I guess I'll just wrap it up. Then I guess I think it is important to say that like it's just entertainment at the end of the day, and we're all just kind of having fun with it, and that's kind of the whole thing. If you're having fun with the entertainment, that's the point. If you don't like it, we'll do something else for you. I think especially this year, there's something for everyone. So. If you agree that Shazam, the Donner's music has no place in this universe and it's completely unfit and something's completely wrong with it, it's a huge injustice, That's your opinion. I get that. I get where you're coming from. I see kind of at least your style of thinking, especially when it comes to Justice League itself. But actually, and if you want to know our opinion, you heard it actually for the last 20 minutes or so. I was talking about it and where we stand, especially in the sense that where it's just a kid humming and it's really not a big deal. And the pop, like I said before, pop culture exists all over these movies. And Suicide Squad had it, and Logan had it, and Spider-Man 2 had it. A lot of great movies had it. So I think it's not a big deal. I think everyone should just kind of chill out, and hopefully, when the movie comes out, actually even better, when the trailer comes out, you guys will see that it's actually jam-packed with homages to Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Snyder's kind of legacy. So, moral of the story is don't take it too seriously. I think Umar's quote of the day was something similar to that as well. And then Samir also had one quote that also slips my mind. But the main quote is don't take this too seriously. Just having fun out here. Content from the Farooqi Bros, and you can give us a follow at Comic Book Debate and all of our personal accounts, which will be in a pinned tweet at Comic Book Debate. So from myself, from Zion, from Umar, and from Samir, this is the Farooqi Bros, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.